So you are a knight of a goddess who is on the moon. That goddess called you from the wastes of the earth to come to the moon and valiantly charge forth to serve and eventually free her. And that has been your mission kind of since day one. Although you've made friends along the way, there are those fellow survivors from the shuttle incident, hence the name, survivors. But for you in particular, there is a more driven mission. Not one that you always understand, but definitely one that you're on, a path. Not only have you drifted away from the group at times to go to places that are seemingly unreal, but you have been challenged in tasks by certain beings in those worlds as well. And that's kind of like the path that you're on like right now. And in particular for you, ever since the Seven Nation Army managed to get into Astro World and then disappear behind a black door after stealing the key that you had, things have been chaotic, to say the least, for your point of view, your perspective. Where once there were occasionally like the glimpses of divinity and the infernal in different forces that you had met, different people that you've been hallucinating. There are now many more challenges that you have to face. You'll actually see people on the street, and this is kind of where you're at. They have numbers above their head. They have symbols that are quite strange, and you'll see them as you're like walking down the street. Just people that have like a number pop up above their head, or even a title. It all started, like I said, when the Seven Nation Army got into that Astro World door. In the meantime, though, you are still charged with doing what you should be doing. So one of these days, while a group was occupied with something, who knows what the task was? It could have been when they had to save Jason Valley, or maybe they had to deal with some consequence of this or that. You might have been on the other side of town. We'll put you in District 5, the Entertainment District. This is especially where you would find things like the light that is guiding you currently on a path, a neon light. There are people, like I said, along the streets at nighttime that have glowing numbers above their head, or glowing words, titles that say like Lord this or Lady that, Knight of this, Knight of that. Some of them just say Squire or Pawn or Novice, but the light that guides you along the way is definitely like a line, almost like GPS, showing you a path or trail. It is the color of the moon's light, pale and gold. Really hard to make the mistake of thinking it was something random. But there is, as you travel, a man along the way kind of leaned up against a wall, an old man with a stick and a cloak kind of covering his head. His symbol above his head is a question mark.
Question mark seems ominous. He'll stop to talk to him.
The man will look up. His image kind of flickers for a moment. Hello, traveler. What can I do for you today?
Quite sure. You just seem important.
Very good. I require 5 bear pelts.
Bear pelts?
Will you help to fulfill my duty?
I don't know where I'd find bears on the moon, but I can certainly try.
Good. There are bears in the White Forest.
Can you point me in the direction of the White Forest?
You actually see a yellow diamond appear in the corner of your eye in the periphery. Pretty odd. It's almost like it's on your eyeball. So if you go to follow that, you will see, or you can at least hear somebody else walk by, and the old man says, Greeting, traveler. What can I do for you? But the person that they were talking to doesn't respond or even seem to notice that they were there.
Oh, good. It's one of these. Okay.
If you follow the marker, it will lead you further into District 5, where there is a small park. And in the park, you will find bears walking around that nobody else seems to really notice.
Oh, Lord. Okay, I guess we're fighting some bears.
They're pretty simple in their behavior. You fought animals before, so you know what's up. You know, fighting a bear just hand to hand is like such a dumb idea. But these bears are kind of weak. They're kind of powder puffs, man. You are able to pretty swiftly take out about 2 of them. You still need 3 more. But it is odd because once you kill them, they don't really bleed. And second of all, they just kind of flash and then a pelt is left where they once were.
God, okay. This would be really odd if Jim played video games at all.
But he doesn't even a little, which makes it excellent.
Yeah.
You may notice out of the corner of your eye, there's a peacemaker kind of with their arms folded staring at you, looking a little confused.
Jim will wave at him.
What you doing? Just exercising?
Yep, just exercising.
That's a pretty sharp sword you got there. Is that a real sword?
Yeah, it's a real sword.
You got a license for that?
Do I need a license for a sword?
Yeah.
Oh, then I guess not.
I guess I gotta arrest you, man. He looks very uncertain about this. You can see him actually talking into his Moby though, like a walkie-talkie. Yeah, we got like a guy here just swinging a sword. I told him I was gonna arrest him. I'm not sure. And then you hear over the other end. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not illegal for you to swing a sword around. I'm sorry, sir. Go about your business.
Thank you. And he'll wave at him again and go back to fighting bears.
Yeah, Peacemaker just kind of tips his hat back and walks away whistling. You manage to rack up the bear kills to get 5 pelts. Doesn't take you very long, and you don't really take any damage because they can't seem to scrape through your armor.
Go back to this man.
The question mark above his head is now golden. Ah, you have returned with the bear pelts.
Sure
now,
did. Here you go.
I must tell you the next part of my story.
Sure.
In the beginning, the world was imperfect. There were many flaws, and unfortunately, like a raft in a flood, we were stuck in this world. But the great architects, being as genius as they were, made an ark, and in this ark, all life would be able to survive the oncoming flood. We now exist in this ark, but there is a threat. Termites are biting through the wood of the ark. You must defeat the termites and help guide the ship.
Okay. Where can I find this ark?
Hail and well met, traveler. I require 5 bear pelts.
Oh, okay.
Kill me.
Sorry, what?
Bear.
Did you say to kill you?
Pelts.
Oh, jeez. This guy just said to kill him. Not again. He only said it once. What if he was just kidding? I don't suppose another marker appeared when I asked him where the ark was, did it?
The fact that he mentioned an ark and what he was talking about seemed to have unlocked something in your mind. Not a marker, but a general sense that there is something behind the scenes. It's the same feeling that you would have gotten when you were crossing that bridge to that temple on the moon, that there is a thing somewhere, whether it's a portal or a door. You are not sure right now, but you do have that feeling. Like, it's like if you were on a stage and you were just hallucinating very hard and had no idea you were in a play, but as the drugs start to wear off, you begin to understand that there is a curtain and there are trapdoors, and in the same way, you are starting to feel like there is a sort of falsehood to the world that you're currently in. That's really the only gist of it that you can get at the moment. However, the story of the Ark actually resounds with you on a different level as well. It seems like part of the mythology of the goddess that you worship. So, you know, without a book or a priest, it's hard to say what exactly the fuck is going on. As to whether the man wanted to die or not, when he glitches and when he repeats himself, you see his kind of like body twitch and convulse a little.
I mean, the toaster asked him to, and he put down the toaster, so it's pretty much the same thing.
So what are you going to do to him?
Just behead him.
His head flies off cleanly. Just you see light squares in the air spraying out from his neck wound, and his head falls, crashes to the ground, and explodes into a spray of white and gold pixels. But there is something strange about what just happened, other than the fact that this man just exploded into electric blocks. That question mark that he had above his head is still there, and it looks like you can grab it. Will you loot the question mark? Yeah, okay. You feel something in your pockets start to it just appears there. If you were to look, it's 10 gold coins.
Oh, good.
And this is good. You have a question mark now. What would you like to do with the question mark? It does feel like it's being pulled towards something.
Well, let's follow the pull.
Oh, it's actually quite close. The pull is right above your head.
Oh, no. Okay. Jim sees where this is going. He puts the question mark over his head.
Okay, the question mark just floats there. Moving forward, you follow along the path. Somebody actually walks out in front of you into the middle, into like right in front of your path, and says, "Hello, I want money.
I mean, we all do.
What can I do for money?"
Jim thinks a minute and says, "Bring me bear pelts?"
Okay, no problem. Bear pelts. Quest begin. And they begin to stiffly walk off towards the same direction that you were walking into, towards that park. It may be a while, but you may get your bear pelts yet.
What do you do with bear pelts?
I guess that's a question you'll have. What did the original guy do with them? You don't even know. He just took them. As you go along the path, though, you will encounter more people that are just kind of asking you questions like that. You'll see occasionally as you follow the line, just like a woman with a bow and arrow will step out and just say, "Hello, I require money. What can I do for money?"
Bear pelts, and he'll point back in the direction of the park.
Okay, quest begin.
Jim
Hiya!
starts running.
Yeah. As you start to pick up speed and run, you find that there are people kind of stiffly running after you. You just hear them saying, "Money, money, I need money, money."
Let's just follow that line and get the hell out of here.
There's a line and then there's like a red border along the floor that you can cross. And once you do, you find that those people can't follow you anymore. They just kind of walk against it and then kind of bump into each other. And they just keep repeating, "Money, money." On the other side of the line, you will find that there is a darker land version of the city that you're already in. It's shadowed. There are trees, but they are barren, and there are chains hanging from the branches. The line actually continues to go on further in, though. If you were to follow that, you would go by the emergent coffins that are sticking half out of the ground, skeletons that are kind of scattered about, bones. You would be able to recognize as a knight and as someone who is deeply immersed in this like strange hallucination, a land of the dead, a sort of necromantic field. And at the end of the field, in a place that isn't in Suffragette City, there is a hill that rises towards the sky with a winding path. And at the end of the path is a tall tower that you can actually see from where you are, a spire. And in the spire at the very top, there is a woman looking out of a window who is covered in shadows.
Let's go towards her.
The closer you try to walk towards the tower, the more the land stretches out, almost like you can't make any progress. A voice rings out from the top of the tower. "Jim Sullivan, it is I, the one who has summoned you.
Jim falls to one knee.
You have made great progress in getting here to the moon. You are very wise and very strong and very brave, but the journey is not yet over, not yet complete. I require something of you, Jim Sullivan. The Holy Grail. It must be mine. Acquire the Grail for me.
Where can I find it?
You will find it in the hands of a dark wizard who is seeking immortality. He commands the wolves that are currently hunting people. Find him. Bring me the Grail, and then I shall be free, Jim." And Jim,
Yes?
have you been eating well?
Yes, I have been.
You look so skinny.
I've always been skinny.
Well, you should consider eating more calorically dense foods.
Your will be done.
Very good, Jim. Now go forth through this door. A giant silver gate appears in front of you.
Okay.
Meet with your other adventurers. Locate the Grail and return it to me at all costs, even if it means killing your friends.
Oh, okay.
Jim, your friends are calorically dense.
You want me to eat my friends?
If it comes to that.
All right, I guess so.
Very good. The gate opens and a bright light is shining through it. If you should choose to step through,
It does.
you will end up in the beach house. You will walk out of a door that is in the ceiling.